Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video we're going to be covering the different theories and speculation behind the next job that is going to be revealed for Final Fantasy XIV's next expansion, Stormblood. For those who don't know, the first job was revealed to be Red Mage, along with the release date for Stormblood being stated as tentatively June 20th, 2017. If you want all the details on Red Mage, check the description of the video, or I'll add an annotation or a card in the top right or top left hand corner of the screen, whatever I ultimately decide on. So at each of the fan festivals that Yoshi P has attended, he's almost always worn a shirt teasing a new job, the only exception being the final of the 3 fan festivals before the next expansion actually launches. Back in 2014, he wore a Dark Knight shirt, which yes, ended up being, well, a Batman shirt, which teased the Dark Knight. On top of that, he wore a 007 shirt a week later at the European Fan Festival, which ended up teasing Machinist. A little bit less obvious, but when you consider the gun and the gadgets, it ends up making a little bit more sense. A lot of people guessed the Agent job, but that was definitely not as direct. He never wore a shirt for the Astrologian job, so we have to keep that in mind, that the third job never got a shirt. Now, for the North American Fan Festival 2016, he wore a Scarlet Witch shirt, and what do you know? We got Red Mage confirmed. So, when he came out of the Japanese Fan Festival wearing a Spider-Man shirt, a lot of people's heads turned, because that seemed a lot less obvious upon initially seeing it. However, the community has been putting together a bunch of theories. I'd like to share some of them with you, and then the ultimate theory that I think will ultimately pan out to be the job we get. So I have seen some pretty far-fetched theories. I saw one that said Spider-Man's web is like strings, therefore strings on puppets, Puppet Master. We're not getting Puppet Master. Yoshi P flat out shot down Puppet Master in an interview like 6 months ago, so that's not happening. I also saw somebody say Peter Parker is a scientist. He's a Spider-Man, I almost said. Peter Parker is a scientist, so maybe it'll be chemist. That to me is one of the biggest stretches that I think we can get, even about as much as Spider-Man's web being strings. We also have Spider-Man's villains. A lot of them are beasts, you know, Vulture, Rhino, Scorpion, so maybe Beastmaster. I really don't think that, I think we gotta stop looking so deep into the meaning and just kind of look on the surface of what Spider-Man actually means. Now, the next theory is a stretch, but it's the most believable stretch of all of the ones that I don't think are correct. The director of the first Spider-Man trilogy is Sam Raimi. His Japanese name is Samu Raimi, aka Samurai. His name says samurai in it. On top of that, there's a Samurai Spider-Man action figure. I think it's part of a comic that's released in Japan very recently, actually. And it's Spider-Man as a samurai. So that kind of, those things seem so, you know, coincidental that you have to believe it's not a coincidence, that it's planned. But I still think that that's just too specific. Looking at the director of a trilogy when there's been multiple directors, even Yoshi P himself in a recent interview said that there are more than one director. And one of the translations from the Game Watch interview that came out recently, he flat out says it has nothing to do with the director. We're looking at a Spider-Man story here. Well, what's the first Spider-Man story we can think of? And this is where I think the Spider-Man shirt is ultimately taking us. What is Spider-Man's first story? He gets bit by a radioactive spider and obtains its powers. What Final Fantasy job obtains its powers by being attacked by an enemy? Blue Mage. I originally wrote this off because I was like, no. The samurai thing it's too coincidental. Like it can't be a coincidence. I think this is the ultimate correct theory. I think it's Blue Mage. I think that it just makes the most sense. It is the easiest from A to B thing you're gonna get. And when I think Spider-Man, I think bit by a spider, and Blue Mage ties right into that. So that is what my prediction is going to be. The Spider-Man shirt is teasing Blue Mage. I guess my only concern now is I've always said I don't think Blue Mage works in this game. Yoshi P himself said they don't want to do a Blue Mage where you just do a job quest every 5 levels and those are your skills. He knows that a lot of people value the sort of monster ability collecting skills of a Blue Mage. People like traveling around the world and learning skills. Are they going to make new monsters that Blue Mage specifically learns skills from? Because the skills in this game are not generally interesting. Status effects don't do much in terms of like paralyze and silence and things like that. They're used in moderation, but the long duration ones generally don't hold too much effect. I mean, you can get a stun, you can get a silence, I guess that makes sense. And then you can get abilities that increase defense or increase attack, things like that make sense. It's just a matter of everything else. Most of the abilities in this game are just AoEs, targeted AoEs or targeted conals that don't really have any sort of unique properties. So I have to think he's gonna pull back on his word and just make it a job quest every 5 levels and you learn a specific skill and then they all tie together. But we have no way of knowing. We also have to consider the fact that Blue Mage may see a different sort of imagination. There's always been the theory that Beastmaster or Blue Mage could play more like a druid, where you actually transform into the monster as opposed to just using its abilities. So Blue Mage could be more druid-esque. There's a lot of theories on that front, but there's nothing to substantiate anything past, I think that this means Blue Mage. And I guess that begs the question, is Blue Mage the only other job in the expansion? There was a recent tweet from Square Enix USA that was deleted seconds after it was posted that says that Red Mage is one of the 2 new jobs in the next expansion. Now that tweet has been deleted, like I said, but it existed and there's screenshots of it. So was that actually the truth? Are there only 2 jobs? Or is Blue Mage just the second job that they know about? We have to remember Astrologian didn't get a shirt. There was no teaser. Astrologian just came out of nowhere and they showed it to us. And I have to think this is playing in way too close to the 2015 Rising event in the game itself. In that event, Yoshi P by name said, what will the next jobs be? Red Mage? Samurai? Oh, but you'll keep these idle musings to yourself. He said those things, and Samurai has just been such a hot topic ever since it was confirmed to have been a job they scrapped for 3.0 because they wanted something more thematic to Ishgard, and they had just released the Eastern-themed job Ninja and didn't want to do 2 Eastern-themed jobs back to back. So, let's consider this. Blue Mage, second job. Is it a tank? I think it will be. I don't think it'll be a DPS. I think that Blue Mage being hit by attacks to learn attacks sort of screams tank to me. Does that mean that the third job, if we get a third job, will be Samurai? And if it is it a tank or a DPS? Because I don't think we'll get 2 tanks. We're more likely to get 2 DPS and a tank than we are to get a tank or 2 tanks and a DPS. What if Blue Mage is a healer and Samurai is a tank? I just don't see a scenario where this makes sense. Like, I can't land on a solid theory, so it's really tough for me to figure out. And that's if we even get a third job. What if that tweet is correct and we're only getting Red and Blue Mage in the expansion? You know, there's just so many questions left, so hopefully we'll have answers by the time we get to Frankfurt, Germany, February 18th, the opening keynote. I know that I'm more anxious for this than I've been for an opening keynote in forever, because my mind is just doing cartwheels trying to figure out what the heck is going on. But that being said, that's the perfect way to drum a pipe. So I am excited for Stormblood currently, but we need to see more about the content. Red Mage is flashy, Blue Mage is flashy, but I need to know that the game at its core is improving. So hopefully we'll get more information that substantiates that as we move on into Frankfurt, Germany. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rant and confusion on the Spider-Man shirt theory. Blue Mage, man. Let's see what happens. Anyway, be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and put your thoughts in the comment section of the video below. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.